Hey guys, this is Anime Ball Z here, and today we are going to be doing the 6th part to What If Goku Was Obsessed with Training. Please like the video if you haven't already and subscribe. It's totally free and you can unsubscribe whenever you want. There's nothing much else I'd like to say in the intro, so without further ado, let's get into the video.
Slick talker since a jet. Winter time, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move, swag. Disrespectful and I'm rude, okay. I had cocaine in the school.
Goku begins walking along the street away from the scene. In the sky, though, someone is watching, Zamasu. His eyes show shock as he wasn't expecting this sort of outcome. His accomplice has been taken out just like that. Now, without that powerful asset, it's going to be very difficult for him to get what he wants. However, he's forgotten that he's immortal. Goku begins to walk off, but Zamasu appears in front of him to try and attack him. Rushing in and trying to stab him with his hand infused with ki, it just grazes off his skin and doesn't even break through it. How? So he really is extremely strong. That's when Goku realizes. Holding him in place using his telekinesis, he lifts him up before firing off 2 consecutive golden destructor discs. Both pierce right through his body, leaving him in 3 different sections. As these sections of Zamasu fall, they just mend together in seconds. This reminds him of Boo, but things look a little different. His body isn't made of some mysterious pink mass. He saw blood and flesh, but he's still just mended back together. Goku continues trying to beat him down with various approaches. One thing to immediately note is that anything Goku tries just ends up leaving Zamasu gravely injured. Their gap in strength is extremely large, but Goku still must think outside the box. This is because even with the damage he causes, Zamasu always finds his way back. Goku just ends up looking at him with crossed arms. He contemplates different approaches but has already tried so much. How does he get rid of this guy? Now, Goku doesn't even want to carry on. It's not like he's getting a good fight out of this anyway. Instead, he turns away and reveals a button. Zamasu has no clue what that is, but soon becomes terrified once he sees who he reveals. Zeno. He's the last option they have in freeing this universe of Zamasu entirely. Zamasu is gone with the universe and the Goku Black arc comes to an end. Future Trunks is now able to enjoy some form of peace in his own timeline now that Zamasu and Goku Black are gone. After this point, Goku returns to his training with Beerus and Whis. He's had enough of Ultra Instinct, now he wants to learn what Beerus has. This is confusing to Beerus though. Wouldn't he want to stay down the same path so that he can master that form? However, Goku has MUI and years of experience with the technique. He's lived for a very long time for a mortal and has spent a significant amount of time training. It's incredibly easy for him to learn techniques, develop them, then master them. I'm not bothered teaching you like Whis does. It looks like you can do a lot by yourself, so let's get this started, Beerus says. Partially, he doesn't want to orchestrate Goku's growth. Secretly, he's still salty that Goku humiliated him twice in a row, but he's starting to come to terms with it. One can only be in denial for so long, especially when the truth is thrown in his face. Goku picks it up very quickly, even though the mentality of the form is different to his own. He most likely won't be using it to the same extent that Beerus does. It's just not very compatible with him, but he can use the Hakai power if he wishes to. I mean, Canon Goku in the manga was already seen using this power to some extent, so I'm sure this version of Goku could use it to a far higher level. Goku and Whis stand against each other. One of their intense spars is about to begin. Goku has mainly been learning to fight through learning techniques and practicing his Ultra Instinct, but Whis has agreed to give him a near full-on spar. They circle each other for a short time. Goku thinks of several approaches he can with a smile on his face. The uncertainty that his attacks will work makes this so much more exciting for him. The ability to face someone above himself, far above himself. It's a privilege and rarity for him to get a fight like this. Goku rushes forward, jabbing forward his fist. He's still in his base form, so this attack is terribly useless. Whis can grab it and maneuver around so that Goku is left to crash into the ground. Whis did this with a single hand and Goku just laughs upon seeing this. After so much training with him, he thought that he'd found weak points that the angel had. Now you can tell those weren't real. Goku creates 5 clones that run toward Whis from all directions. Using the power in numbers is his best shot. These angels haven't been as highly trained in the art of facing mobs and groups. It's not as common, and so this is Goku's main chance. All of the clones begin using UI Omen, not their full power but a form easy to access. Whis begins surveying his surroundings with careful, vigilant eyes. His eyes never look at a place for too long. He scans, then turns, scans, then turns. A clone attempts to strike his back, but he turns and swats their attack away using his staff. Next, he swings up his staff to send one of the clones flying into the sky. Another tries to land a front kick, but he swivels to his right and jabs down the staff to slam the clone's foot onto the ground. Using this planted staff, he lifts and holds his body horizontally, kicking away the remaining clones before swatting the final one out of existence. Now, Goku was not expecting that. He just laughs again. It's fascinating to be in the face of such overwhelming strength and ability. Goku leaps forward and begins lifting rocks and hurling them around Whis. The winds around them soon resemble a tornado and even darkens the clouds above them. Goku's telekinesis powers are so strong that he can affect the weather around them. Whis remains calm and focused, scanning the whirlpool of air around him. It's not like any ordinary tornado, Whis can see through it though. This means that he can track Goku as he goes through it. Oh wow, he's making Whis a little invested in this. Surprising, Beerus thinks, as he watches the battle. Goku continues trying to battle Whis in Uiomin, but the gap is too large, he's just not strong enough in this form. Throwing 2 haymakers, Whis just taps away both strikes before kneeing him in his chest, which nearly knocks him out. He stumbles to a knee and is surprised of how much of an effect that hit had on his body. He does lift back up though, scratching his chest in pain. Next, he calms himself, lets his mind fall quiet. Opening his eyes, he manifests his mastered Ultra Instinct form, his pinnacle of strength. Blasting off toward Whis with a still face, he aims to punch him. However, at the very last second, he aims to kick him in his side. He sees a smirk on the angel. Neat trick, Whis says, before turning. He aims to lift his staff to block the attack and is more than fast enough to do so. However, before his staff can reach Goku's fist, he vanishes. Out of nowhere, 20 clones all appear from around him, all aiming their fists in his direction. Whis starts analysing if he can block each one. All of the fists are too close together though. Based on their trajectories from what he can see, they'll all land at the same time. Therefore, Whis extends both arms and throws all the clones away. Finally, he rushes Goku and sweeps him into the air by striking at his ankles with his staff. Jumping up, he stabs the butt of his staff into his sternum to send him crashing into the ground. This leaves 10-meter long cracks to scurry out from the point of impact, and Goku grunts in agony from this hit. He felt his sternum break from the strike and is just lucky his healing factor is getting to work to heal the wound. I must commend you, saying that was not something I was expecting near the end there, Whis says. How did you even do that? Just created clones behind you that made them suppress their ki and hide a few kilometers away around the planet. Once I needed them, I just talked to them using telepathy and made them all attack you at once. That is some god battle intelligence to say the least. Now what follows this spar is the Tournament of Power. Goku is extremely excited to get this going, but his enthusiasm does fall a little bit after he has his introductory fight against Toppo. Beerus can't even be bothered watching, he knows that this other guy has no chance. Toppo might be one of the strongest in his universe, a god of destruction in training, but all of that doesn't matter. If he isn't stronger than Belmont, there's no world where he beats Goku. Toppo is arrogant though, and why would he not be? He's the heir to the throne of his universe, and is strong in his own right. Sprinting across the gridded arena, he swings out a test punch to see Goku swerve out the way of it. Next, he drives up an uppercut, but Goku steps back just enough so that he is millimeters from hitting him in the head. Goku continues stepping around his attacks and sees Toppo overcommit with one of his punches, leaning forward. A quick sweep to his inner leg is all he needs to leave him flat on his back. Of course, this doesn't hurt Toppo at all, but works to humiliate him. After he'd been trying his hardest to land a hit on him, this is all Goku had to do to leave him on the ground. It riles him up and he rises, now using his aura of a god form, God Ki. Blasting ahead, he carries a much higher momentum and more intimidating presence, but this means nothing to Goku. He still watches his punch fly past his face and he then grabs it. Flipping it around, he swings Toppo all the way around so that he lands back on his feet. Those in the stands must hold back their laughs upon seeing this. "You think you're funny, do you?" Toppo asks, now furious. Goku just shrugs, lifting his hands. Now this gets Beerus' attention. This is a little entertaining. Toppo just lifts his hand and creates a Hakai blast. He doesn't care anymore, this guy is going to pay for fighting like this, treating him like he's some joke. Firing the dark purple blast, Goku fires the exact same one toward it. The two clash in the midpoint and release a large amount of energy that Goku places an energy shield around to contain. It creates this massively bright area of light that soon dies down. Don't want that destroying everything around here. Don't you think that Hakai's a little overkill? Goku asks. Toppo grunts and charges ahead again, but gets hit by a phantom punch to his stomach. He remains still for a moment, shaking until he feels himself getting nauseous. Coughing up blood, he passes out and needs immediate medical attention. Who is this Saiyan? Champa knows him all too well and knows that there's going to be a serious problem. With the stakes of the tournament so high, it makes him stress out to the maximum. Universe 7 then needs to choose their team for the tournament, and many people are excited. One person that is quite excited is Yamcha. During this time, he's been mainly training with Tien and Gohan. He's been teaching him martial arts techniques he's learned from Goku. Also, Goku found that the humans are great at manipulating ki. Where the Saiyans have been gifted raw power, the humans have technical ability and smarts. So, Yamcha, Tien, Krillin, Goku and Gohan are givens. Master Roshi is also added to the mix, and to be honest, Beerus thinks that'll be enough. Beerus isn't even thinking about how they'll win the tournament, it's like it's already happened in his mind. He's just constantly thinking about the dynamics of being the only universe around. He could throw just Goku into the tournament and he's sure that him alone could win the whole thing. However, the rules of the tournament mean that they have to, therefore they go for Goten and Trunks. Subsequently they revive Frieza and he's going to be used as the member in the tournament. This brings their total to 8 members, then they ask for Cell to be revived. Now these two most recent additions are evil and don't want to listen to these people, but Goku is extremely strong and tells them that if they don't win this tournament, their whole universe including themselves will be erased. As for their final addition, they go for Android 16. This time they don't need a wish, but Bulma just works overtime to reprogram his mind so that he's more amiable and willing to aid in the cause. The 10-man team is quite different to the one that we'd seen before, but it's still more than enough. The tournament begins and Android 16 and Cell end up working as a duo. They know each other's abilities incredibly well and already knew each other from Dr. Gero's works. Frost faces these two fighters and Android 16 can quickly tell that he is outmatched. He rushes Frost, who is currently in his final form, but ends up getting one shot and shot to the ring's edge. Weakling, I wish I could absorb you, Cell says back to him before dashing ahead. Now enhanced with Zalama and Goku's DNA, he's a much stronger threat. He lands a smashing punch onto his face before grabbing one of his arms to pull him overhead. He continues to swing him from one side to the next, and once he sees he's too weak to face him, he throws him out the ring entirely. Cell smiles as he gets his first elimination before rushing away to engage with other fighters. I've been taking training way too lightly recently. I can feel I'm not as good as I used to be, Gohan says, taking off his glasses. Dispo of the Pride Troopers takes him on, but he prepares himself and rushes in for battle. As he tries to fight with his base, you can see why Dispo claims to be the fastest warrior of his universe. He zips around him with immense speed and doesn't seem to be slowing down either. A massive amount of wind flows out from the movement and Gohan receives a straight kick to his abdomen that drops him to his knees. He then lands a speedy snapping hook to his face that he can't even see coming. His glasses go flying off and you can see the world swaying around even though he's completely still. Okay, you're better than I expected, Gohan realizes. His father made everyone else look so weak, but that just proves how strong he has become. Gohan might be strong, but he can see the gap between him and his father has gotten even larger. Closing his eyes and calming himself, his body floods with God Ki. Now in Super Saiyan God, he speeds across the tournament ring and leaves Dispo frozen. After flaunting his speed and acting so arrogantly, his mind is still trying to process what has just been seen. He's just been outran. Gohan swings straight for his thighs and drops him to the ground before dashing away. Dispo can speedily get back up to his feet and can see Gohan approaching him again. Going in to attack him again, Gohan steps around him to grab the back of his shirt to throw him down again. Now Gohan continues with these useless demoralizing attacks and just makes Dispo angrier with each grab. Dispo begins visibly shaking and powers up to his feet with his eyes opened wide. If you want to fight me for real. What is this? Dispo shouts, looking around to try and track him. Gohan appears in front of him, then just stands there. Dispo waits as he expects an attack, but suddenly rushes ahead to try and hit him first. Laughing as he charges, his punch flies straight through his whole body. An after image. You want me to fight for real? Okay then, Gohan says. Dispo turns and takes a massive elbow to his jaw, followed by a kick right to his sternum. Before Dispo can steady himself, he takes a relentless combination of attacks where each one pushes him closer and closer to the ring's edge. All the fastest in his universe can do is look on with still frozen eyes. The previous anger, the fury, it's all gone. Gohan rushes ahead and shoves him off the ring and eliminates him, moving on to his next target. In this moment, he sees Cell. They look at each other and Cell exudes a sense of anger and coldness. Gohan doesn't have that same malice, but it's not like they're friends or anything. Let's just put what happened in the past behind us, Gohan says. Not like I have much choice in the matter anyway, Cell replies, before Toppo lands ahead of them. Gohan makes his stance, then Cell does the same. Let me take him on myself, Cell shouts, before charging forward. Revealing Krillin's destructive disc, he hurls it toward Toppo, but he ducks under it with ease. Next, he sprints toward the bio-android and lands a crushing uppercut to his torso. Cell ends up coughing up blood and stumbles back. Toppo just throws Cell's extended hand to the side to land a massive haymaker to the head. Now Gohan can't just stay back and watch this. As much as he hates Cell for what he did in that city, the fear and suffering he caused, he has a pure heart. He can't just see him get hurt like this. You are weak, is all Toppo utters, before throwing down his foot for a stomp. Before he can reach Cell, Gohan kicks his leg away before blowing him back using telekinesis. Oh wow, I wasn't thinking that would work, Gohan thinks. Toppo looks angry as he's done this and wants to rush back in to hit the blue-head Saiyan, but he is beat to it. Gohan charges ahead and then disappears at the very last second to strike him right in his back. Next, he grabs one of his gargantuan arms to swing him around 360 degrees and hurl him to the ground. Now Toppo is getting really angry. After Goku humiliated him before, it feels like the same thing is just playing out right now. Furious, he rushes forward and aims to grab Gohan, but he slips past his extending arms and kicks him right in his solar plexus. He then snaps at his knee to drop him onto it. Grabbing him by the neck of his shirt, he just throws him straight out and throws him off the ring. It looked like you really did need my help, Cell, Gohan says, walking over to lift him up. Cell just grunts, but then they both turn. Toppo holds onto the ring's edge just by a finger. The ring starts cracking under the concentrated force, but this is all he needs to get up and rejoin the tournament. Let me handle this, Cell says, walking past Gohan. Toppo even stumbles to a knee. He's been left weak and heavily injured. You can see Cell walking toward him, but just waits. He can't really do anything. He still needs time to readjust and recuperate. Cell reveals his tail and totally submerges Toppo. Cell contains the power and can feel himself getting larger, stronger. Now, the tournament had put up rules for fusion between people of the same universe, but they weren't expecting something like this to happen, an absorption. A method of fusion but between members from different universes. After the absorption, Cell looks very much like how he was before, except he's just become larger and more muscular. Would you believe this? Cell says, cackling. Did you have to absorb him? You've just ended his life. Gohan berates him, furious. Stop with that kindness. This is universe against universe, life or death. Now it's not like they have many options. Their entire universe has gone through and swept many of their enemies. Golden Frieza is already much stronger than a lot of the fighters in the tournament, and Universe 7 have many fighters way stronger than even Golden Frieza. Cell ends up facing Cabba and the other Universe 6 Saiyans, Caulifla and Kale. He grabs Cabba by his arm and ends up breaking it with just a squeeze. Screaming in pain, Cabba tries to free himself but cannot. Cell headbutts him and knocks him straight out before kicking him off the ring with a final hit that knocks him out. Next, he launches a ki blast out that throws Kale and Caulifla out the ring while leaving them in a bad state. Cell just looks down to his body again and laughs upward. The power flowing through his veins is exhilarating. There's nothing else like it, to be honest. Now, the only real strong fighter left that isn't in Universe 7 is Jiren. Goku has been sensing their ki and went straight to him after taking down a few minor foes. Goku can tell from his silence that he is powerful, the silent confidence. Goku begins the fight and charges forward in his base form. A single hit, a punch to the jaw, knocks Jiren to the ground head first. Goku just looks away with disappointment. He was hoping for more than what he's received. Jiren just ends up placing his hands on the ground and has a face of pure shock and surprise now. He saw him rushing forward and he didn't seem that fast. How did his punch hurt that much then? No, Jiren denies the pain he feels, it can't be real. Lifting to his feet, he throws that neutral position behind him and just goes on the offensive. This is when Goku gets to see Jiren's full power. He's the strongest person out their universe here. His attacks are fluid but also powerful. Even if Goku can evade each one, he can still feel the power behind them. It's actually working, Goku calls out of nowhere. Jiren has no clue what he's saying but just carries on trying to attack him. Whatever he's saying is not his business then. However, Goku is saying this since he's managed to incorporate Ultra Instinct into his base form, and the gods watching soon start to catch on. Now, Goku isn't moving very quickly. This isn't what lets the gods know he's using it. He's moving at Jiren's pace, so the gods know he is far slower than any angel and some of the gods of destruction. However, as soon as Jiren starts to move, so does Goku. Even before he has the chance to react, there's no delay at all. Ultra Instinct, Champa grumbles under his breath. All the members of his universe are gone but one, Hit, and all he can do is watch hopelessly. He's already seen what happened to Hit after he fought Goku, and you can see that he's way stronger than in the Tournament of Destroyers. Jiren can't stop because he struggles to accept what's happening. His mind keeps telling himself that he'll connect at some point, that he's the strongest, but the demons in his mind gain power after every hit. Has he disappointed his master? No, of course not. But what is this then? Jiren roars, but Goku just stops his next fist using telekinesis. Jiren continues trying to push forward but feels this invisible wall whenever he gets close to Goku. Many of those around have stopped to watch their fight. His shockwaves released from Jiren's attacks have caught all of their attention. Jiren steps back, then begins revealing all of his hidden strength. The fruits of his hard work, his consistency, is right here. However, he still just looks weak in comparison to Goku. Before Jiren can land a single attack, Goku hauls him out the ring using a wave of Ki and ends things right there and then. Universe 7 have taken the win, just like that. They wish for the other universes to come back, and that brings this arc to a swift end. What follows is the Broly movie. Now Goku is back on Earth and is training with his son Gohan. They clash continuously over the water, and Gohan is continuing to learn from the new divine martial arts that Goku has taught him. You've still been training, that's great, Goku says, before diving under Gohan's incoming punch. Using his Ki, he hurls him into the air and makes him lose his control and coordination. He's spinning around so fast that he can't even see what's happening. Before he can stop though, Goku just grabs him and stops him. Landing back on the Kame House Island, Gohan drops to his hands and knees from feeling so dizzy. I can see you've gotten stronger as well, Gohan says, panting. Next, Frieza arrives back with his life and has located Broly to act as a warrior to face Goku in his stead. Embarrassing. They arrive at a snowy biome of Earth, and Gohan is the first to take the Saiyan on. Now, without Vegeta here to aggravate Broly and Paragus, the former attacks not on his father's command but Frieza's. This means Broly isn't as aggressive at the beginning of the fight. Broly speeds over the ice, throwing up a cloud of water vapor from his massive impetus. Gohan takes a straight punch from him before charging up in flight. Swinging out a few ki blasts, they throw up masses of ice and snow upon impacting the ground, and a small few of them hit Broly directly. Now, the ki blasts are powerful and hurt him, but serve more to anger him instead of injure him. Broly flies up straight to Gohan and hits him straight in his chest. Being forced upward, he still slows and stops himself, before landing a swinging kick that shoots him to the side. Now, at the start of things, Gohan has the advantage. He's stronger than Canon Vegeta at this point, so he can carry on in his base for longer, but as he continues, he can feel something's off. As he continues to fight, you can feel he's growing stronger and stronger. The way that they continue to fight, the gap is closing. Gohan is punched into an ice mountain and punched straight through it, getting sent through the ice. He can feel this dull aching pain in his arms. After this, he ascends into Super Saiyan. Broly continues with his anger and confidence after eventually reaching his level though. However, he blocks his hit without even moving an inch. Broly just feels all the force of his strike through his hand. As his mind is being taken off the fight from this pain, Gohan reaches forward and headbutts him. He takes off his glasses, throwing them down before uppercutting Broly further up and continuing the battle. He zooms through the clouds, parting them from his insane speed. Broly can do nothing to face him, the gap between them is too large. However, he closes that gap as well. He forces him up into Super Saiyan God and can also see that Broly is closing that gap. Now, Goku is completely fascinated. This is an ability he hasn't seen to such a high degree. It reminds him of his son, where he just grows and grows as he fights. Broly, now in his Ikari form, grabs Gohan by the neck and slams him down repeatedly. This brazen warrior continues to attack until out of nowhere Goku appears and throws him away. How did he get so strong? Gohan asks, holding his neck in pain. Goku heals him as he is down while still looking at Broly. I don't know, but I want to see how far this goes, he says, with a smile on his face. Lifting into flight, he zooms over his son and continues the battle himself. Goku continues in his base form, but finds that Broly has already become a problem. His base form won't be sufficient. He powers up into Super Saiyan 3, getting more and more excited as he carries on. He can feel that Broly is getting stronger and even reaches his own level. This makes Frieza very surprised, but he is also disappointed. He knows Goku has so much power beyond this, so he's no use. He's going to need to find some power for Broly, and fast. He was growing quickly at the beginning, but the rate at which he's growing now is getting too slow. I mean, for him to reach Goku's level will take an abnormally high amount of time. From Goku's perspective, there is potential there, but he won't get a good fight from him right now. Broly rolls and swings down his arms like an ape, but Goku lands a quick tap to his chest that knocks him clean out. As he falls, he turns and can see a laser beam shooting out from Frieza's finger. His speed and perception is so great, it's like he can see it slowly rushing out from his finger. Using instant transmission, he grabs Paragus and teleports him to the side so the laser beam goes flying past into a nearby ice mountain. Goku then blasts him in the chest, leaving him knocked out. Sorry about this, you guys shouldn't be following him. He just wanted to use your son for power. You can stay here if you like, since you'll need to keep watch over your son, Goku states. He's way too strong to just let loose, and Paragus doesn't really have an option. There's no planet for him to go back to. Everyone he knew and loved except for his son is gone. Therefore, he obliges and Frieza is shooed off the planet for now. Now back on Earth, Cell is basically left to roam. Gohan makes sure that he'll get rid of him if he acts up, and Cell chooses not to do much then. After this, he is soon afflicted with a sense of extreme boredom that he's never felt before. Before, he had a purpose, to kill Goku and to use his power to cause suffering to extreme levels. It made him feel happy, kept him driven. Now, he doesn't really have much. Grabbing a rock and just hurling it into the water ahead of him, it creates tsunami-like waves. He just flies up to watch the waves rush under him. As he watches the water fall and calm, he feels the presence of someone behind him. Turning, he launches a ki blast in their direction, but they jump over it with haste and shoot out a weird laser from a gun. Cell is hit right in his chest and stumbles around for a short while and can feel everything getting blurry and slower. What have you done, is all that he can mutter before he passes out. I hope that you can be of use, Moro says, lifting the mammoth fighter onto his shoulder with ease. Gohan is walking toward his home after a long day of work and looks to his door while readjusting his glasses. Still have training after this as well. I'm already so tired, Gohan complains, before he then senses someone approaching. Not only that, but he realizes that he's sensing this person through God Ki. He knows the God Ki of Beerus, Whis and Goku. This is not that same ki, but it feels the most like Whis. Still, it's different enough for him to know that it's someone else. Meris lands ahead of him and he can see that Gohan is on edge. Don't worry, I don't intend to cause any harm. I actually need your help, Mero says. It's been a while since Gohan has been on a mission. This guy's lucky he hasn't got work for a few days. What do you need help with? Shortly after, Gohan heads with Meros to Namek and is surprised to find Cell in the ship with him. He took you as well, Gohan realizes, looking up the ship as it rushes through the air. Yes, he did. Looks like he took you as well, Cell replies, with a lot more anger in his voice. They arrive on Namek shortly after, and Cell rushes out to see where he is. Why has he brought us here? Cell asks. So you don't know, Gohan asks in reaction. Don't answer my question with a question. Of course I don't know. Well, there's an enemy here. I can sense he's in that direction. Cell hears this and flies over there at top speed without hearing another word. Moro stands up on a hill, ready to conduct his operations, but gets punched off the hill and sent into the ground. Cell then launches a barrage of ki blasts down toward Moro before he can react. He continuously gets hit by these blasts and hit down after he tries to raise back up. Cell doesn't even know why he's fighting right now. After just sitting around for so long, he's just happy he's doing something. Moro shoots up beams of lava toward him, but Cell hurls over his beams and drives his knee into his head. The beatdown is brutal, and you would think that Cell is some righteous hero the way he's holding nothing back. Moro is soon covered in his own blood, completely battered. His old frail frame hasn't been holding up against Cell's raw strength, and he soon starts running out of options. However, he still has some magic. Lifting his hand, he starts trying to suck Cell's energy. Cell isn't going to let that happen. Rushing forward, he grabs one of the magician's arms and snaps it with just a squeeze. He begins to scream out in pain, and Cell looks down with piercing eyes of rage. How dare you steal my energy? Let me use your power for my gain, Cell calls out, shouting at him. He opens his tail, but from nowhere, he feels someone holding his tail back. I won't allow you to do that, Mero states. Why? Cell calls out, but both are then hit directly by tranquilizers. With Moro weakened to such a level, Meros can use his trapping substance to wrap him back up and trap him. After this, he can take him and the job is completed early. Gohan goes over to Cell as he's just slumped over on the floor ahead of him and scratches his head. What am I supposed to do here? A few seconds later, Cell awakes, rips the sleeping dart from his leg before flying up into the air and escaping at the last second. Well, that was pretty quick. Following this, Gohan just heads back to Earth where he can continue on his day as usual. It's weird how he just went across the galaxy and is just right back home in such a short time. Meros offered his ship to bring Gohan back home, so he had a very smooth journey back to Earth. So Moro is put right back in jail, and that brings a very swift end to the Moro arc. So that will conclude the 6th part to What If Goku Was Obsessed with Training. I think for the next part, since there isn't much left in the story, I'm just going to add it onto the end of the full movie that should be the next video coming out. For those people who have already watched all the parts to this What If, I'll put a timestamp in the full movie video where you can just jump to see the little extra content at the end. Please tell me something you liked about this video or something that I should improve on for the next one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.